Andrew, even though you're playing another top side against Portugal tomorrow, is there a feeling after Thursday that the players want to, in terms of performance, try and make amends?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we'll be looking to bounce back from Thursday. I think that's crucial for us. And since the game finished, that's all we've been looking to do. So obviously we've had long travelling back, but now our focus is fully on tomorrow night, and hopefully we can put in a better performance.
Has it been quite a job to pick the boys up after Thursday?
Look, it's been tough. Obviously, there's been a lot of criticism and the reaction of the fans and stuff like that after the game, and but the players have all stuck together, which has probably made my job and the gaffer's job a lot easier. So, look, it's been a tough couple of days, but we've got another game to try and put it right. So we're still confident, and we've picked our spirits up again, and we're high going into tomorrow, and we need to try and show that.
After the game, you spoke about the kind of feeling that you're kind of learning the role that obviously you're playing out of position. Obviously, Kieran Tierney pulled out the squad, so whether that has an effect on where you play tomorrow or not. But have you spoken to the manager? Have you had a real good sit down with him and to kind of talk about your concerns about where you're playing on the park and where you would rather you played on the park?
It wasn't. I don't think it was really concerns. Obviously, what I'd said after the game. I stick by that. Me and KT are used to playing at left back, and we're both playing a position that we don't usually play at club level. But that doesn't mean that that's an excuse for both of us. The whole team haven't been good enough, especially on Thursday, and that's no excuse in terms of positions. We can still do the basics right, which we never done on Thursday. So for me, that's all I was, focused on. I've played wing back at Hull before, but in a slightly different system, so it's a wee bit different for me. But it's something that I'm willing to learn. So if the gaffer chooses to stick with this formation, then it's something that I need to get better at. It's not, maybe people took it as I was taking a dig at the gaffer. I've seen, some people kind of saying that today, which I completely disagree with, because for me, I've got a very good relationship with the gaffer, and it wasn't a pop at any means. It was more me saying that I need to learn it, and every game I'm trying to learn it, game by game, and it will take time. But all of us are learning different positions, so we need to do that, and that's part and parcel of having a new manager. It happens at club level and it happens at national level. So for me, I'll get better as they learn the system a wee bit more, and that's what we're doing. So every time we meet up, we're working hard, and hopefully we start seeing the performances on the pitch that the efforts in the training ground deserve.
It might be a bit puzzling to some people, though, that you're not being played in your best position, given where you play for club, and do that very well. Do you understand those frustrations for some, and do you feel that the formation you're playing at the minute will come good? Do you have the confidence in that?
Yeah, I have the confidence that the players can perform better. And in that formation, if we do that, then like Albania, I think that's probably our best game in the formation, and you've seen it work. It's easy now for people to say, because we've been beat off Israel, that they say, oh, Albania was a nothing game and stuff like that. It's just some of the stuff that have been said is baffling at times. But look, we've tried a new formation. We've got a new manager that's willing to try formations, but I'm sure he's willing to try other ones. So whether the next few games show that, we'll wait and see. But yeah, look, we need to. Obviously, the manager's looked at it, saying that he needs to try and get me and KT in the team, and he's found that he thinks this is the best way. So we need to work with it. It's up to us players to take responsibility. The manager doesn't come over the white lines; he can only prep us, and then it's up to us to perform. And we've not done that, especially on Thursday. But
just for clarity, if you felt it wasn't working. And I know you just said that you want to try and give it time, and you want to try and learn the positions that you've been asked to play. But if it wasn't working, would you feel comfortable going to the manager and saying, look, we need a rethink here? I
have a good relationship with the gaffer, yeah, a very good one, and in terms of a short basis of time, and I would we would say that maybe we should try something different, whether players believe that. But at the end of the day, the manager has the final decision, and if the manager says we're playing 3-5-2 or he's willing to change, then we change with him. It's as simple as that. Manager has the final say. Players can, say whatever they want, but the manager and the coaches have the final say. So, whether they've looked at it thinking that maybe we should try something different, it's up to them. They're new into the role, and they've probably came under too much criticism for me at the very start of a campaign, probably the most that any Scotland manager's had, and God only knows how many years. So, they're fighting, a tough battle, but from me, you know, they're doing a good job of it just now, and it's a work in progress.
Do you feel that criticism has been unfair, or again, can you understand where some people are coming from in that?
Look, like I said, you know, at the start, I can understand the fans' frustration from, you know, from the last game. You know, it wasn't good enough, but also I think a lot of people look at the results, and we've took a lot of tough games, which you know, has been hard for the lads to, you know, when we're trying to layer an attack and going like under a new manager, and you know, against Belgium, you know, a world class team, we didn't really get out, and by all accounts, Peru and Mexico were tough conditions, and you know, things like that. So we've had to deal with all different things, but for us, we're still learning under this manager, and we keep going. But for me, I think the criticism's a bit harsh. But you know, some people prefer when we do bad instead of when we do good.
You really believe that?
Yeah, I think some, you know, especially think, you know, maybe some pundits or whatever would prefer us to maybe they have something to moan about. But you know, that's their job. That's what they get paid for. We get paid to go out in the white lines, and as soon as we don't perform doing that, then you know, people have stuff to write about, and unfortunately, we've gave them excuses to write about us negatively, and we all need to take it on the chin because it's part and parcel of football. And, you know, we respect their decisions. Just
one final one from me anyway, in terms of the Kieran Tierney situation with you. Obviously, it doesn't come into play because he's withdrawn from the squad. A little bit surprised that he's withdrawn because he's tired.
Not at all. You know, I've seen a couple of things written. I don't know what the you know, the truth is behind why he's pulling out. I'm sure that's up to the physios and his club. But you know,
fatigue is what Alex McLeish said.
Yeah, he's well, okay. If he's tired, then he's played a lot of games for Celtic, and you know, if the club and you know, the manager agree with you know, him pulling out, then that's fine for me. For me, I like playing games, so it's not a problem with me. But you know, Katie's been, you know, into, you know, first team football from a very young age, and sometimes it does catch up on you. And if he needs a couple of days rest, then you know, I'm sure that will benefit Celtic and Scotland in the long run. So you know, hopefully he uses the rest, and you know, next trip he'll be fresh, I'm sure.
Andy, just going back to your point you made when you said that you feel some people prefer it when you do bad as opposed to good. Scotland haven't qualified for nearly 20 years now. Do the players genuinely are the players generally angry about some of that punditry and some of that criticism?
We can't be. You know, like you said, we've not qualified for 20 years, so we've got nothing that we can't moan about when people write stuff about us. It's up to us to try and perform on the pitch, and like I've said, on Thursday we didn't do that. So you know, we've gave people stuff to write about, and that's, you know, that's like, I respect every press and every pundit. That's their job, and what they write is up to them. But you know, look, we're trying our best. Thursday wasn't good enough by any accounts, and we know that. So we need to try and put that right. And luckily, we've got a game quick enough on Sunday, and if we can do that, then you know, hopefully that's starting to, you know, start pulling in a more positive direction.
You mentioned the Belgium game where you weren't able to get out. Portugal are in the same bracket as Belgium. So what lessons from that game will you have to take into tomorrow, and how big, you know, some people would look at the game and off the back of Thursday's performance and fear for Scotland tomorrow night?
Of course, and that's. Sorry, I'm just having a chat with whoever he is. No problem. Yeah, of course. Look, Portugal are in the same bracket as Belgium. You know, they're a fantastic team with some fantastic players, so it's something that we've got to deal with. But you know, against Belgium, we weren't quite good enough in possession when we had it, and you know, the goals we conceded came from mistakes, and you know, that's what we've got to learn from. We can't make mistakes against these big teams because they'll always get punished. And that's what happened against Belgium. So we've got to learn from that, and in possession we've got to be a wee bit more clinical with our passing, and then we can hopefully cause them problems. We've got to, you know, against these teams, we've still got to try and create chances, and if we can do that, then you know, hopefully we can cause them problems.